Welcome back. I'm here with Darlene Conrad of Grindstone Laboratory, LLC. Darlene, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Now tell me, having studied geology at the university to then creating Grindstone Laboratory, can you tell us more about your journey in geosciences and how the company was formed here in Portland in the beginning?
Sure. I started off originally wanting to go into physics and astronomy, but I came from a military family, and I went into the military instead of going straight into college, and that kind of taught me some discipline and helped me focus. I knew I wanted to go into science, but I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do with it other than going into astronomy. And then when I was in the military, I had a family. I had 2 children and was married, my first marriage, and kind of got away from the physics and started discovering geology. I lived in New Mexico, and at the time I was a stay-at-home mom. I had just gotten out of the military, and I was watching a lot of science TV, and I'd never actually got interested into geology. I kind of underestimated what it was all about. And so I decided I wanted to go back to school, go back to college actually, and study geology instead. And so when my then husband got out of the military, I moved to Southern Illinois and started college at Carbondale, Southern Illinois University at Carbondale. And that was when I really realized that I'd hit the jackpot in what I wanted to do. But the problem was I couldn't narrow down my focus. And so I took every geology class that I could get my hands on, and that didn't help. It just widened the interest. And so I started getting into more of the industry. What can I really do with geology? I wanted to go to school and I want to study it, but at the same time, how am I going to make money at it? And also, how am I going to make a difference with it? And that's when I started discovering that there were all these little pockets all over Portland where environmental geology. I worked at a petrology or a petrography lab, and that's where I learned what I do today, where I make thin sections. But I did a variety of different jobs, and then I also do field work in Nevada. I've been doing that for about 15 years for a junior exploration company. And so I just I tried on a lot of different hats, and it's the thin sections that stuck. And that was what really excited me, because I realized that it didn't matter where I lived, that I could do it. There are rocks everywhere, and as long as there's a delivery system, and electricity, I can do it. But it was really exciting to bring it to Portland, because both my husband now, he and I both, we love Portland, and so it was really exciting to have a shared dream and have our own business in a town that we love, and doing something that we think is really important.
Can you tell me about some of the key values of Grindstone Labs?
Oh, key values. Well, as a woman in geology, I understand exactly what a lot of women go through, some of the difficulties, and also the second guessings oneself and imposter syndrome, and then also juggling family, having infants while you're working, trying to go to school and navigate that. I was a non-traditional student. I'd returned to school later, and so that was very hard to navigate as an older student with the family. So there's a lot of challenges for women, and a lot of things that I think would discourage them from getting out of the field. So I really want to help encourage women any way that I can. I personally didn't experience that. I didn't have that kind of encouragement, but I can change that. I can do that. And whether or not it is just through advocacy and being an ally, or whether it's actually supporting their careers and their research through our thin section service, either way, I don't care, as long as I'm helping women, minorities. I want that to be reflected actually in the people that you see, not just the topics that we talk about. So I want to help encourage that. Yeah.
That's great. What does it mean to have a group like the GSA come to Portland for groups such as yourself?
Oh, it's absolutely invaluable. We get to meet our clients in real life, so I get to see what everyone's talking about. I get to see their research. I get to find out firsthand feedback on our service, what we're providing. I also get to cheerlead all the people that, you know, that I think that they're doing wonderful stuff. So that's really exciting. There's so much that I think that organizations like GSA can bring to Portland, and I'm excited also that that everyone who's visiting gets to visit our city. Like I said, we love Portland, and so everyone gets to. It's like a win-win for both sides. So, yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Darlene. Really appreciate your time, and
Thank you.
excited to have you here.
Thanks.